I am just gonna get right to the chase and say it. The Mega Pig event is just disappointing all in all. With that being said, however, I do want to admit that there are positives to this change, but at the same time, I don't really see myself having as much fun as I did in the normal club league. So we're going to talk about the positives first, which unfortunately won't take too long, and then we're going to talk about the negatives. So one of the positives is that you're not confined to a 24-hour wait period as you were with the normal club league, or at least during the actual club league, not the club quest part. It felt pretty stressful sometimes, especially as, you know, a busy 22-year-old adult with busy adult responsibilities. Sometimes it can be pretty tough trying to sneak in any time to finish all my tickets for that one day, and I only had that one day to do it. And with the new Mega Pig event, you have an entire weekend, which, you know, gives you more flexibility on when you can use your tickets and when you can contribute to your club, which is a good change, honestly. Also, another thing that I can appreciate is the fact that if you're one of the top contributors of your club, you kind of get rewarded more, considering that what Brawl really struggles with as a whole is, like, sometimes, you know, it's a team-based game, right? But when you're, like, outperforming your other teammates and clubmates, stuff like that, you don't really get recognition for it. Like, there'll be times to where you get the best possible scores for your club league, and it doesn't matter because of the fact that someone else did poorly. You're kind of rewarded the same way. You being the best is being rewarded as someone who performed really poorly and ultimately brought the club down, which is disappointing. So it's nice to see the game acknowledge people who contribute a little more to the club than other people, which is really nice. And unfortunately, those were all the positives that I've had, and now we're just going to talk about the negatives. So the Mega Pig includes new modifiers that'll make the games, you know, a bit more random and different from one another. Well, it sounds good on paper, but when you play the game, you kind of realize that half of the modifiers don't really change the game that much. The only modifier that does change things a bit is the instant overtime, to where all the bushes and walls and environment is destroyed, with the exception of indestructible walls, of course. That's the only noticeable difference when it comes to these modifiers. All the other modifiers just contribute very little to the difference in games, and it's to where, unless you have the instant overtime modifier, every game feels the same. Like, I don't know. The modifiers were pretty underwhelming, to be honest with you. Another issue that I have with the Mega Pig is that when you get into a match, you have so little time to not only choose your brawler, but actually choose the build that you want to associate it with. Like, you have, like, no time to do it whatsoever. And especially considering that with different maps and modes, you need to choose different brawlers and have different builds for them. It can be frustrating going into the match with the wrong build because you just didn't have enough time to adjust your brawler build to that specific map and mode, which is pretty annoying. And I've lost games because of that, just because I just didn't have the time to pick a good build for my brawler. So yeah, you just need more time. If I were to give my hugest pet peeve on Mega Pig, and it might not matter to a lot of you, but it matters a lot to me, is that you can fight bots in Mega Pig. I'm not joking. You can fight bots in Mega Pig. And when I got my first bot match, I'm just like, I'm not gonna lie, I had my hands on my head. I was thinking, why? Why am I fighting bots? What's the point of playing this event if I'm just gonna fight bots? Like, I'm really adamant on the whole bot fights being unfun and deriving any amounts of fun from the match itself. Like, bot matches just don't matter. That's just the reality of it. I know people are gonna say, well, it's because you've been doing poorly and you wouldn't be fighting bot matches if you weren't doing so poorly. And cool of you to assume that the vast majority of my losses come from me doing poorly and not my teammates, but whatever. It's also the reason why unlocking new brawlers isn't as much fun as it used to be anymore, but I'm going on a tangent here. Let's get back in focus. The bot matches, you know, if there are bot matches in the Mega Pig event, then I'm pretty confident that you could find a way to rig it to where every match you fight is a bot match, to where you get your easy 18 wins and stuff like that. Like, what's the point of vying to become the #1 contributor if you can get your easy 18 wins by fighting nothing but bots? And even if you aren't trying to fight bots, like, what's the point of playing if you're going to get bot matches? Like, I don't understand why. See, that's the thing with the original Club League that I really appreciated. In the original Club League, you will never fight a bot. Never. Every opponent you fight will consist of real players, and maybe you'll fight against the bot teammate on the enemy side, but for the most part, you're fighting against real players. Which, you know, if you're fighting real players, that, as a player, makes me think, okay, cool, this fight actually matters because I'm fighting against real people. I don't get that same feeling when I'm fighting bots. When I'm fighting bots, it's like, well, they're bots. Like, what's the point? Like, I don't see a purpose in going on with the match because bot fights are just boring. Like, you know, it's just, it kind of just ruins the purpose of the Mega Pig event in a way, because you want to compete against other people to fill in that pig. If you're competing against bots, you're not competing against anyone. Like, fighting bots in this game is the same as me having a conversation with a brick wall. Like, that's how I see it. Just boring, pointless, meaningless, and honestly, I don't know, I was just very disappointed. Because now I'm gonna have to worry about whether or not the next Mega Pig battle I'm gonna partake in even matters, because I don't know if I'm gonna fight bots or not. And it stinks to feel that way, especially in an event that's supposed to be new and fun. And it's just not. Now, I can't say anything about the rewards because as of me recording this video, I haven't opened my pig yet. I haven't gotten any rewards from the pig yet. What a lot of people are frustrated about is basically two things. One, a lot of people are convinced that it's a nerf to progression, at least compared to the original Club League. And two, some people just do not care about cosmetic progression. Like, for me, it's easy to judge, but at the same time, I've been playing the game for so long that I'm at a point to where, you know, every time a new brawler comes out, I can unlock it instantly. And every time I unlock a new brawler, I can get at least a power level 9 with the star power gadget and gear. Like, I'm in a position that the majority of players aren't in, to where it's pretty easy for me to unlock new stuff. So whenever I get cosmetic progression, I'm a bit more appreciative of that. But you know, there's some players that, you know, don't have certain brawlers. Some players that don't, you know, who aren't as progressed into the game as I am. And it's just to let y'all know, I'm nowhere near maxed out. I have nowhere near a maxed out account. There are lots of players out there with half of the amount of progression that I have on my account at best. And so when they're getting all these, cosmetics, like, pins and sprays especially, it feels like a slap in the face, because it's like, I want to upgrade my brawlers, I want to max them out, I want to get new brawlers, and these, cosmetics aren't really helping me get there. And I think that's one thing that Club League, the old Club League, has an advantage over, is that playing it and progressing in it just felt a lot more meaningful. Because the rewards that you get from Club League would help you progress in your account and stuff like that. And, we already have Power League to where, they give you bling, and bling can be used for cosmetic progression. But I feel like a lot of people are upset that actual account progression has been nerfed in favor of mixing it with cosmetic progression. And I can definitely understand the frustrations of those people. Like, it's going to be even harder to catch up with the pay-to-win people who can spend a couple $100 and get all sorts of new things. And especially with the new Brawl Pass coming up, that's going to put an even bigger discrepancy between free-to-play players progression and pay-to-win player progression. It just felt like an overall, like I said, smack to the face of people who are trying to progress and get maxed out as quickly as possible. Oh, and another thing I gotta mention, once a month, this only happens once a month. Like, as of November, as of the time this video is being recorded, they're doing it to where they're releasing a Mega Pig event every week for every weekend of November. But still, the norm is going to be once a month. That's what the norm is going to be. And it just doesn't feel all that special to me. Like, Mega Pig already isn't too different from Club League in terms of how fun it is. Like I said, the modifiers, for the most part, don't really add anything that makes different matches unique, with the exception of instant overtime, like I said. So it's just, the Mega Pig just feels like it's there just to be there. Yeah, I'm not really a fan of it being a monthly occurrence, but I don't know, some people may like it, some people may not like it. I'm just saying, me personally, I wish it happened more often. Even if that meant reducing the rewards a little bit for a better frequency, like, it'll just, it'll make the Mega Pig seem more exciting and fun and worth it. But, that's all from me. These are my personal opinions. I'm not speaking on behalf of the fan base or anyone in particular. I'm only speaking on behalf of myself. These are my thoughts. I know how tough it is to have an opinion online, especially an opinion that a lot of people don't agree with, on something as insignificant as a video game, but hey, that's just the world we live in right now. So yeah, thanks for watching, and let me know what you think about the Mega Pig down in the comments below. Take care of each other, love each other, and peace.